You know what I like about the Missouri Tigers? Absolutely nothing. They're a garbage football team in a garbage city, in a garbage state. The only good thing I can think of about Columbia, Missouri is that it's not Columbia, South Carolina. But other than that, garbage. the the most popular city in Missouri, like if you ask somebody to name a city in, well, first of all, most people, if you ask them to name a city in Missouri, they can't name a single city, not one. They're definitely not going to name Columbia, Missouri. Some people might be able to name Kansas City, Missouri, but most people wouldn't be able to name any city at all. But here's the thing. Notice that it's not called Missouri City. It's called Kansas City. They don't even want to be there. They'd rather, you know how sad that is? Do you have any idea how embarrassing it is that the people in the most popular city in your state would rather be associated with Kansas than Missouri? That's bad. That's really bad. If it weren't for that TV show, The Ozarks, most people wouldn't even know Missouri was a state. That's a good show. What's the name of it? Ozark. That's a good show. And it supposedly takes place in Missouri. And if it weren't for that show, most people wouldn't even know Missouri was a state. But the thing about that show is the people that run that show aren't stupid. They're not retarded. That show's not filmed in Missouri. No one, why? Why? Imagine trying to get a bunch of actors and film production people to agree to live in Missouri for 3-4 months, whatever, so you can film a season of that show. It would have never got made. Where is that show filmed? Ozark. Oh, yeah. In Georgia. Yeah. Anybody with any common sense at all would rather be in Georgia than that podunk-ass state, Missouri, the show me state. Is that Missouri? Isn't Missouri called the show me state? Has anybody ever woke up and go, man, I sure would like to go to Missouri, the show me state? I'll show you something. Here you go. I'm serious. Missouri's just a terrible place. I guess if you're from Missouri, the only good thing about going to the University of Missouri is that if you get some kind of college degree, you might be able to get the fuck out of the state of Missouri and, go somewhere and get yourself a real job or whatever the case. But let's talk about Missouri's football team because they have a good record. Notice I said, well, they do have a good record. What are they, 7-1? They hit an 88-yard field goal or whatever it was at the end of the game to beat Kansas State. Man, hanging your hat on that one, aren't you? You got boat raced by LSU. Now, you hung in there for a while against the Corn Dogs, but you just ran out of gas. Now, they've got no defense at all, so you moved up and down the field, no problem, for about 3 quarters against them. But tank hit empty there in the 4th quarter, and you just couldn't get anything going, and they pulled away from you at the end. But that's an amazing win you got over Kansas State, though. That's unbelievable. And then you've pretty much beat, the bottom half of the SEC, so that's good. You're 7-1. You're coming down to Athens to get your ass beat this weekend by, honestly, the first real team that you've played. LSU's got 2 losses. They're fool's gold. Kansas State, well, they're in the Big 12, so, Kansas State won the Big 12 last year and got blown out by the 5th best team in the SEC in the postseason. Remember that? Who was that blew Kansas State out? They were the 5th best team in the SEC because they didn't win their division. They didn't make the conference championship game. They didn't make the playoffs. They lost to Georgia. Did make the playoffs, by the way. So Georgia made the playoffs. They played LSU in the SEC championship game, which was the winner of the West. This team I'm thinking of here lost to Tennessee and LSU. Yeah, about the 5th best team, Alabama. Kansas State got blown out. Just absolutely obliterated by the 5th best team in the SEC last year. You beat them on basically a last-second miracle 70-yard record-setting field goal. Boy, you better hit a bunch of 70-yard field goals in this game because that's about as far down the field as you're going to get. In fact, that's what I would do if I was Missouri. If I got lucky enough to get to the 50-yard line, I would just immediately attempt a 65-yard field goal or whatever it would be, 67-yard field goal from there, because you're not likely to get much further. Georgia's just going to absolutely dominate, humiliate, and embarrass you like they normally do. Oh, but last year we almost beat you. Well, almost. You were this close. God, you were this close, Mizzou, man. Had a lead on us in the fourth quarter. Couldn't finish the deal, though. Couldn't finish the deal. But we've already got those types of games out of the way for this season. See, you're catching Georgia in a bad spot right now, Mizzou, man. Last year, you were Auburn. You were South Carolina. You were the team in the middle of the season that Georgia went to sleep against and didn't pay any attention to and just rolled the ball out on the field and knew they'd beat no matter what. You were that team early in the season. But Georgia doesn't do that in the last month of the season, Missouri, man, and you're going to find that out Saturday. Hell, you found it out every single time you've played Georgia since you joined the SEC, with the exception of one. You're like 1-12, 1-11. How long you been in the SEC? I can't keep track because that's just how irrelevant you are. What, since 2012 or something? So, I don't know, 13 years ago, you beat Georgia one time. Remember the grown man football thing? You probably don't. Most people who were Missouri fans back then have offed themselves by now because y'all have just been so bad between then and now. But yeah, shout out to the grown man football. That didn't work out for you in your first SEC game. And it's not going to work out for you in your next SEC game either, this coming Saturday against the best team on the planet, the two-time defending national champion, Georgia Bulldogs. 125 straight. You're about to be victim number 26. That's right. In fact, you're already 2 of the 25, aren't you? Jesus. How many times are we going to beat you in a row? You almost beat us last year, and all joking aside, I'll give you some credit for that. That was a hard-fought game, and Georgia basically got lucky. I'll just go ahead and call it like it is. I thought we were going to lose that game at halftime, but we didn't. We ended up winning. But that's okay. So that was a 4-point game. You go back 3-4 years, whatever, we beat you every year by 20. Georgia's favored by, 15? 15 and a half, depending on where you look right now. Georgia's going to beat you by more than that. Georgia has flipped the switch like they always do the week before the Florida game. Georgia gets a week off before the Florida game every single year, and that's when they get serious. They screw around and mess around with people. It's like a baby playing with their food in the first couple of months of the season. But when that Florida game comes around, Georgia flips that switch. And instead of getting Georgia in Columbia, Missouri, like you did last year in front of 11,000 people or however many, how many people does that podunk-ass high school stadium hold that y'all play football in? Y'all shouldn't even be in the SEC. I'm dead serious. First of all, y'all don't want to be in the SEC. The SEC doesn't want you in there, and you can't win. You can't. It makes no sense that you're in the SEC, and it just hasn't worked out for you. Why haven't you tried to leave? Must just be the money. It must just be the money. Missouri's administrators would rather cash that big check and win 6 games a year than they would go to another conference where they could actually be competitive. But Georgia's going to absolutely roll you in this game. Favored by 15 and a half. They're going to win by 20 or more. This game won't be close. Georgia does not fuck around in November. Sorry, just check the results from the last couple of Novembers. If you'd have caught us in September or the first couple of weeks of October, maybe you could have tricked yourself into thinking you could almost win like last year, but that's not going to be the case on Saturday. Georgia's going to tee it up and beat the absolute soul and will to live out of you. And that's just a fact. That's just a fact. You don't have a chance in this game. Brady Cook, what happened to that streak he had where he wasn't throwing any interceptions? Ever since that streak ended, it seems like all he does is throw interceptions. Oh, Luther Burden's a good wide receiver, woo. That's amazing. There's a lot of teams in the country with a good wide receiver. It takes a lot more than that. Let me ask you this. When you lay your head down on whatever piece of cardboard you sleep on at night and you close your eyes, do you see Brady Cook playing in the NFL on Sundays? The answer is no. You don't have the offense. You don't have the quarterback to beat Georgia. You just don't. You can't run the ball. Luther Burden is the real deal and would start on any team in the country. And if I'm being completely honest, he's probably going to make a couple of plays against Georgia. But it's not going to be nearly enough. We're going to make you one-dimensional. You're not going to be able to run the ball. Brady Cook can't run the ball. Your running backs won't be able to run the ball. And you can't just throw it to Luther Burden over and over and over and over and over again. It won't work. And it's not going to work. Brady Cook is going to be running for his life. I suggest you go back and watch the Florida game. Don't even quote me any stats about Georgia's sack numbers or anything like that. Georgia has the ability to get pressure and sack QBs when they fucking feel like it. Okay? When they feel like it. Go back and watch the first half of the Florida game. That's going to be Brady Cook's future come Saturday at 3:30 when they kick this thing off. He's not going to be able to sit in the pocket and hit Luther Burden or pick Georgia's defense apart. That's not happening. I don't want to hear anything about the Ohio State. You're so far away from last year's Ohio State team, I can't even see you with the Hubble telescope. You're not on that level. You're not talented enough. At all. You're not even close to talented enough. You know what you are? You're a team that's talented enough to beat Kansas State with a last-second field goal at home. That's what you are. You're nowhere near talented enough. You're nowhere near good enough. You're nowhere near well-coached enough to come into Athens, Georgia, Sanford Stadium, and beat the Georgia Bulldogs. It's not going to happen. Georgia's going to run wild on you. Carson Beck will have another 300-plus yard game. Dejon Edwards will probably go over 100 on the ground. And just for shits and giggles, we'll probably put my cousin Cash Jones in the game in the fourth quarter and let him humiliate you a time or two. I was a little pissed off we didn't let him play last week, Kirby. Let's fix that this week, buddy. The Florida game was over in the fourth quarter. You should have put my cousin in, Cash Money Jones, and let him run a little bit in the fourth. Maybe you were saving him for Mizzou. I don't know, Kirby. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt there. And before any of you idiots start typing about how I'm not related to Cash Jones, of course I am. All white people are related. Don't forget. Hashtag cancel Lou. But I'll make you a deal, though. It's the same deal I make everybody else. They're going to play a football game tomorrow at 3:30 in Athens, Georgia. If you think you have what it takes to embarrass yourself on national television, come on down to Athens, Georgia. We will welcome you in to Sanford Stadium. We will tee it up at 3:30, and my Georgia Bulldogs are going to absolutely destroy you in front of God, your mother, and everybody on a national television audience, 3:30 on CBS. Is this Georgia's last game on CBS at 3:30? Maybe. The Ole Miss game probably be a night game next week. So this is probably Georgia's last time playing this 3:30 time slot on CBS because, of course, CBS is losing the SEC contract. This year. Anyway, drag that bunch of deadbeats that you dress up into. We just ended. Halloween just came, which is fitting because that football team you have is not a football team. It's a group of deadbeats dressed up in Halloween costumes that resemble football uniforms. But yeah, come on down to Athens, 3:30 tomorrow. We'll tee it up, and Georgia's gonna beat the absolute fuck out of you. Come get you some, bitch.